Hi, my name is Humberto Arroyo, and I'll be going over one of the questions that was given to us on our SPL 2. That question being, what is cloud computing? Define it. What exactly is cloud computing? And give real life examples of it. So let's begin. So with a couple of Google searches, I did come across a couple of websites. The first one being PCMag.com. I have been here a couple of times, whether if I wanted to know a couple of information about processors or anything like that, CPU, GPU, and so on and so forth. So let's see what PCMag has to say about cloud computing. So as you can see right here on the top headline, it says, "What is cloud computing?" So let's see what they say. So let's start off with the first paragraph. It says, "What is the cloud? Where is the cloud? Are we in the cloud now?" These are all questions you probably heard of or even asked yourself. The term cloud computing is everywhere. In the simplest terms, cloud computing means storing and accessing data and programs over the internet instead of your computer's hard drive. The cloud is just a metaphor for the internet. It goes back to the days of flowcharts and presentations that would represent the gigantic server farm infrastructure of the internet as nothing but a puffy, white cumulus cloud accepting connections and doling out information as it floats. So as you can see right here at the bottom of the paragraph, there's also a chart that they do give us to kind of visualize what's going on with the cloud server, and let's see what it says. So right here you got your router, and then you have a cloud that says the internet. So this is what they refer to as the cloud. You also got a server right here and a printer connected to the server, and you got switches which show three different desktops, as you can see, connected to that switch. So let's see what this other paragraph has to say. It states, "What cloud computing is not about is your hard drive. When you store data on or run programs from the hard drive, that's called local storage and computing. Everything you need is physically close to you, which means accessing your data is fast and easy for that one computer or others on the local network. Working off your hard drive is how the computer industry functioned for decades. Some would argue it's still superior to cloud computing, for reasons I'll explain shortly." And as you can see, as you scroll down further down, you can also see that it talks about the NAS, which was also included on our on our SPL2. So let's see what it says about the NAS. It says the cloud is also not about having a dedicated network attached storage hardware or server in residence. Storing data on a home or office network does not count as utilizing the cloud. However, some NAS will let you remotely access things over the internet, and there's at least one brand from Western Digital named MyCloud, just to keep things confusing. So let's see what it keeps saying. It says, "For it to be considered cloud computing, you need to access your data or your programs over the internet, or at the very least, have the data synced with other information over the web. In a big business, you may know all there is to know about what's on the other side of the connection. As an individual user, you may never have any idea what kind of massive data processing is happening on the other end. The end result is the same. With an online connection, cloud computing can be done anywhere, anytime." That's pretty awesome as you keep read as we read that paragraph right there. So let's see what else it has to say. So we have another headline right here that says consumer versus business. So let's see what the difference is between both. It says, "Let's be clear here. We're talking about cloud computing as it impacts individual consumers. Those of us who sit back at home or in small to medium offices and use the internet on a regular basis. There's an entirely different cloud when it comes to businesses. Some businesses choose to implement software as a service, where the business subscribes to an application it accesses over the internet. So it looks to me that there are different types of cloud interfaces that different businesses use for for consumers, their clients, their customers, and maybe even their employees. So let's keep reading. We also got one where it says where the business subscribes to an application it accesses over the internet. So it says thinksalesforce.com. Continuing, it says there's also a platform as a service where a business can create its own custom applications for use by all in the company. And it says, and don't forget the mighty infrastructure as a service, where players like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Rackspace provide a backbone that can be rented out by other companies. For example, Netflix provides services to you because it's a customer of the cloud services at Amazon. So actually, I didn't even know that. Just by reading this right now, I didn't know that Netflix was actually a customer of Amazon's cloud services. So that's actually pretty cool to know. And it says right here, of course, cloud computing is big business. The market generated 100 billion a year in 2012. That seems like a lot of money already. Which could be 127 billion by 2017. That's crazy. And then it keeps on the saying, and 500 billion by 2020. Wow, that's very, very um not expensive, but it's generating a lot of money with cloud services. So it seems like it is an interesting area to focus maybe a study or research on. So maybe I could possibly do that on the near future or something like that. As I continue reading, it says common cloud examples. So let's see what kind of examples we see for cloud. It says the lines between local computing and cloud computing sometimes get very, very blurry. That's because the cloud is part of almost everything on our computers these days. You can easily have a local piece of software, for instance, Microsoft Office 365, that utilizes a form of cloud computing for storage, Microsoft OneDrive. So it's funny because I actually downloaded Microsoft 365 from our university webpage as it's offered to us for free. So let's see if we can actually find that real quick. Let's see. So as you can see right here, I'm connected to both of my personal cloud drives right here. We have our OneDrive for school, and then I also have my personal OneDrive right here with my other email. So that's pretty cool because I have two different cloud drives on one single application on my MacBook. So that's pretty awesome to know that I have both storage for one account and storage for the other account. So let's keep on reading what it says. That said, Microsoft also offers a set of web-based apps, Office Online, that are internet-only versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote, accessed via your web browser without installing anything. That makes them a version of cloud computing. Web-based equals cloud. So we can see right here the online version of Office Online, which is pretty cool. Almost looks like the same interface as the Mac or Windows version. So let's read one more example of a cloud, and we have right here Google Drive. So let's see what it says. This is a pure cloud computing service with all the storage found online, so it can work with the cloud apps, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. Drive is also available on more than just the desktop computers. You can use it on tablets like the iPad or on smartphones, and there are separate apps for Docs and Sheets as well. In fact, most of Google services could be considered cloud computing: Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Maps, and so on. That's pretty awesome. Also, throughout research throughout the internet, I also did find a diagram, as you can see right here. It's a diagram based on how businesses use cloud interfaces and stuff like that. So as you can see right here, we have the business scalability. Sorry, I can't pronounce that right. We got the market adaptability, the mass complexity, the context-driven reliability, the ecosystem connectivity, the cost flexibility, and then you have a little bit of information right here on what each certain part of the pie chart here has to do with. So for market adaptability, we got faster time to market, supports experimentation, and then for the ecosystem connectivity, we got the new value nets, the potential new businesses, and so on and so forth. So after reading a little bit about cloud computing, I came across the question, well, why should someone use cloud computing? And I ran across a web page right here where it says, why use clouds? And it says right here, clouds can provide users with a number of different benefits. So let's read a little bit of those benefits. It states many businesses, large and small, use cloud computing today either directly, Google or Amazon, like we stated already on PC Mac, or indirectly through Twitter, instead of traditional on-site alternatives. There are a number of reasons why cloud computing is so widely used among businesses today. So let's read the first three and then we'll come to a conclusion for this video. The first one states reduction of costs. Unlike on-site hosting, the price of deploying applications in the cloud can be less due to lower hardware costs for more effective use of physical resources. Number two, universal access. Cloud computing can allow remotely located employees to access applications and work via the internet. Number three, up-to-date software. A cloud provider will also be able to upgrade software keeping in mind feedback from previous software releases. So, in conclusion, like I said and stated already, we've came to a brief definition of what cloud computing is, and as we read over PC Mac, we read a little bit of what they think cloud computing is, and it basically matches the same definition that the book and the slides provided for the SPL2 says as well. Now we also have on the cloud computing diagram a little bit of support of what PC Mac was stating about the businesses versus consumer side of the part. And then on the Why Use Clouds page on cloudlaunch.org, we also talked about some of the benefits as to how people or what people will get from using clouds. So that's basically the video for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.